On a somber summer day, August 10th, the peaceful community of Woking, England was shattered by a horrifying discovery. The lifeless body of 10-year-old Sara Sharif was found in her home, instantly casting a dark cloud over the neighborhood. The serene streets, once filled with the laughter of children, were now cloaked in an eerie silence. The news spread like wildfire, leaving residents in shock and disbelief. Conversations at every corner turned to the tragic event, as people tried to make sense of the unimaginable. How could such a tragedy befall a child in their midst? Parents held their children a little tighter, and neighbors leaned on each other for support, trying to find solace in their shared grief. As authorities began their investigation, the grim reality of Sara's final days began to emerge, revealing a heartbreaking tale of suspected abuse and neglect. The community's sorrow deepened as the details unfolded. The investigation quickly turned into a murder inquiry, and 3 individuals became persons of interest. Sara's father, Irfan Sharif, his partner, Baynash Batul, and his brother Faisal Malik. The revelation sent shockwaves through the town. Adding to the growing unease, it was discovered that all 3 had fled the country the day before Sara's body was found, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a community grappling with grief and anger. The once tight-knit community now faced the daunting task of seeking justice for Sara while trying to heal from the profound loss. As the investigation into Sara's death deepened, a disturbing pattern of missed opportunities and ignored warning signs came to light. Concerns about Sara's welfare had been raised before, but sadly, they went unheeded. Teachers had noticed unexplained bruises on Sara, raising red flags about potential abuse. Neighbors reported hearing disturbing noises from the house, hinting at a volatile and unsafe environment. However, despite these warning signs, no concrete action was taken to ensure Sara's safety. The system, it seemed, had failed her in the most tragic way possible. The sudden disappearance of Irfan Sharif, Baynash Batul, and Faisal Malik immediately after Sara's death raised suspicions and sparked an international manhunt. Authorities were quick to issue alerts and begin a thorough investigation into their whereabouts. Their flight to Pakistan, Sara's father's home country, only intensified the belief that they were involved in her death. The choice of destination raised eyebrows and led to further scrutiny from both local and international law enforcement agencies. The case garnered significant media attention, putting pressure on authorities to bring the fugitives to justice. News outlets around the world covered the story extensively, highlighting the urgency and gravity of the situation. The international community watched closely as law enforcement agencies from both the UK and Pakistan worked tirelessly to track down the trio and uncover the truth behind Sara's tragic end. The collaboration between the 2 countries was unprecedented, showcasing a united front in the pursuit of justice.
We had no choice but to leave. The situation was unbearable. The constant media scrutiny and public pressure made it impossible for us to stay.
We were scared and we didn't know what to do. The fear of being wrongfully accused and the uncertainty of our future drove us to make a hasty decision.
We never intended to run away forever. We just needed time to think. The overwhelming emotions and the need for clarity led us to seek refuge temporarily. We are cooperating fully with British authorities to ensure that justice is served. Our commitment to the investigation remains steadfast, and we are providing all necessary information.
Our priority is to bring them back to face the consequences of their actions. The law must take its course, and we are dedicated to ensuring that justice prevails for Sara and her family.
After weeks of intense searching, there was a significant breakthrough in the case. Sara Sharif, Bainash Batul, and Faisal Malik were apprehended upon their return to the UK at Gatwick Airport. Their capture marked a crucial step towards seeking justice for Sara and holding those responsible accountable for her death. The trio was formally charged with murder and placed in custody awaiting trial. The upcoming trial is eagerly anticipated, with many hoping it will provide answers and a sense of closure to this heartbreaking case.
This trial is a crucial moment for justice. We owe it to Sara to see this through to the end.
Section 5. Unfathomable Loss. A Mother's Anguish. While the legal proceedings slowly move forward, Sara's mother, Olga Sharif, was left to navigate an unimaginable depth of grief and loss. The pain of losing a child is unbearable under any circumstances, but the brutal nature of Sara's death compounded Olga's suffering. She bravely shared her story with the public, her words a poignant reminder of the human cost of this tragedy. Olga's strength and resilience in the face of such adversity touched the hearts of many, and her story became a rallying cry for justice for Sara. Section 6. A community united in grief and outrage. Sara's death sent shockwaves far beyond her immediate family, deeply affecting the entire Woking community. Vigils were held, and flowers were laid near her home as people gathered to mourn the loss of a young life tragically cut short. The outpouring of grief was palpable, reflecting the collective pain and anger felt by those who knew Sara or were touched by her story. The community's shared grief evolved into a shared purpose: to honor Sara's memory by demanding justice and advocating for changes to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Section 7. Systemic Failures. A call for reform in child protection. The circumstances surrounding Sara's death exposed potential systemic failures within child protection services. The missed opportunities to intervene and protect Sara sparked outrage and a demand for accountability. Questions were raised about how warning signs could have been ignored and what measures could be taken to prevent such tragedies in the future. Sara's case became a catalyst for a much-needed conversation about the effectiveness of current child protection policies and the urgent need for reform. Section 8. Recognizing the warning signs. Every child deserves protection. In the wake of Sara's tragic death, there was a renewed focus on the importance of recognizing and reporting signs of child abuse. Bruises, withdrawn behavior, and inconsistent explanations are just a few red flags that should never be ignored. Educating the public on how to identify and report suspected abuse became paramount. Every member of the community has a role to play in safeguarding children. By being vigilant and proactive, we can create a safer environment for the most vulnerable among us. Section 9. Sara's Legacy. A catalyst for change. Though Sara is no longer with us, her memory serves as a powerful reminder that we must do better to protect our children. Her story has touched the hearts of many, urging us to take action and ensure the safety of our youngest members. Her tragic death sparked important conversations about child protection, prompting calls for reform, and increased awareness. Communities have come together demanding changes in policies and practices to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Sara's legacy will be one of change, inspiring communities to be more vigilant and proactive in protecting children from harm. Her story has become a rallying cry for those advocating for stronger child protection laws and better support systems. Her story serves as a stark reminder that every child deserves to grow up in a safe and loving environment, free from fear and abuse. It is a call to action for all of us to be more attentive and caring towards the children in our lives. By learning from the mistakes of the past and working together, we can strive to create a future where tragedies like this are never repeated. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that every child is protected and cherished. Follow Unforgiven Crimes.